What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. Alright, today's video, we're going to be talking about King in Black, number 3 by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. And in this video, we are going to learn whether or not the King of Asgard, Thor, Odin's son himself, the All-Father, can he be the one to help turn the tide against Knull and his symbiote army? More importantly, we're going to get to see Dylan finally get into action. And last, but most certainly not least, we are going to learn why the opposite force to Knull has yet to make themselves known in this King in Black event, and who is going to make it possible for that to happen. We're going to talk about all that and more right now, but first, let's hit that intro.
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
Okay, so things are bad. They're just bad. There's really no other way to put it. Right now, there are very few heroes left who are still standing and are not already taken over by Knull and his symbiotes. It is coming down to the Invisible Woman, Blerd, and his vampire army trying to hold back the tide, but unfortunately, nothing on Earth is able to completely put down Knull's army. It ain't happening. However, there is one person in all of Marvel Comics who is finally made their presence known, and that is Thor, the god of thunder and king of Asgard. And it's crazy to think about, because right now, Thor is going toe-to-toe with Knull, and he is one of the few people who has been able to hurt Knull in some kind of way. We remember when Storm pulled up on Knull, she was one of the few people who was actually able to stop him, and Knull took her off the playing field and nullified her. And Knull even has to put some respect on this, because at this moment, Knull is hurt by what happens. He actually recoils when Thor blasts lightning through his hand. And with Thor on the playing field, Dylan is actually able to get out there and unnullify some of our heroes. We see that Spider-Man and Wolverine are trying to escort Dylan into the shit because they want to use Dylan's powers to try and fight back. Dylan has proven himself. He has shown that when a nullified Captain America tries to attack him, he immediately catches the shield. I was like, dude, wait a minute, his powers allowed him to catch the shield? This is some Winter Soldier shit right here. But yeah, I'm just gonna roll with it because yeah, it's Donny Cates. We're just gonna let it ride. He even obliterates the symbiote that's controlling Captain America, basically giving them back their moral compass and their strategic battle mind back to the fight. He uses his powers on multiple different characters, one of which being Hulk, and the other one I think might be Living Lightning, giving them some of their heavy hitters back. And Thor and Knull, they go to battle. It is an amazing thing to watch because we've never actually seen Thor and Knull go toe-to-toe. Thor has taken on the Grendel, but that's it. He's never taken on Knull himself. And it gets to the point where Knull is doing so much posturing and talking so much cash money shit that eventually Thor has had enough of him. And with Mjolnir, crashes it through Knull's jaw, breaking it clean off from his head. Now, at this point, I was like, wow, this is literally the first actual blow that we've seen, like aside from Storm and her lightning, aside from Thor hitting him with the lightning, this is the first time we've really seen Knull on his knees. And it's, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy to see. But just because Knull has been knocked down doesn't mean he's out, because we gotta remember, he still possesses all black, the Necro Sword, and this is a sword that Thor is quite familiar with. Now, granted, his familiarity with his sword kind of spans all of space and time, because we know that at the very end of time, Loki has the Necro Sword. He's also gone up against the Necro Sword in the form of Gore the God Butcher. So yeah, if anybody is familiar with this blade, it would be Thor, and Knull impales him with it. Now, granted, this is not enough to kill Thor. Thor is, of course, he's a god. He's the All-Father. He's not gonna go down that easy. The problem is not so much what's going on with Thor, it's what's going on with the Celestials that Knull has under his control. He is activating them and commanding them to lay waste to everything on the battlefield. Well, it just so happens that Iron Man has finally figured out how to make the symbiote that he took over work for him. He comes in riding on the back of a Grendel, and he reveals that he can turn this Grendel into whatever he wants. Since Dylan set that symbiote free from Knull's control, Iron Man is able to control its shape and what it can do. And what he's about to do is he's gonna fly the Grendel into one of the Celestials and take it over and do as he so eloquently says. He's going to turn that Celestial into his new favorite armor and play some rock'em sock'em robots. But that's not even the end of it all, because since he took down Thor, Knull has finally captured Dylan. He has what he wants. Now, we've learned in this issue that yes, the power source that Dylan has, it comes from Knull's opposite, the unnamed entity who we've yet to see, the unnamed entity who we witnessed in the pages of Web of Venom, the Wraith. We learned earlier that Reed has been studying the information that Eddie got from the Wraith, but they don't really know a whole lot about this entity, and Thor he sends Hugin and Moonin, he sends them to go hunt down someone who can help them. These mystical ravens, they can go anywhere they want, and where they go to find someone who can take down the dome that's blocking this opposite entity of Knull. It's blocking them from being able to arrive on Earth. So they are gonna go find someone who can crack through that barrier, and almost as soon as they fly away, they come back with a whole ass Silver Surfer. Of course, we know the Silver Surfer has been around lately. He hasn't exactly been missing. I know a lot of people probably think the last time we saw him was in Silver Surfer Black, but that actually is not quite the case. He actually has been present in Donny Cates' Thor run. We actually saw him around when Thor first became a Herald of Galactus, and they had to face off against the Black Winter. And of course, we also have seen him around in the Star Brand Reborn arc of Jason Aaron's Avengers, so it's not like he's been disappeared and just missing and no one knew where he was. Thor was very aware of where Silver Surfer was. Now, what Silver Surfer will be able to bring to this fight, I have no idea, because I actually have more questions. It's not so much about Silver Surfer's whereabouts. I mean, I do have questions about what he's going to be able to bring to the table. Will he actually be able to do anything to Knull at all? But I'm also curious as to how Thor showed up, because last I checked, he was trapped in the realm that Donald Blake used to call home when Thor was in the driver's seat. We don't really get an explanation as to why, and we also know that in the pages of Thor, the last issue of Thor, as a matter of fact, that was out before this, Thor was still trapped. I'm sure we'll get answers on that soon. And more importantly, I honestly just don't know what Silver Surfer is going to be able to do, short of just being able to offer up a path for the entity to come through. I don't really think there's much else that he could do. Knull is ridiculously powerful, and if Thor couldn't bring down Knull permanently, I don't know. I think Silver Surfer might be able to do a little bit better, but not by that much. But anyways, I enjoyed this issue. Once again, I keep saying it, but the core King in Black issues, they tend to be the better ones. They tend to be the better ones, and this is no different here. We got a really good solid story here out of this one, and I'm here for it. I enjoyed it. I liked every part of it pretty much, with the exception of the whole Thor just showing up with still having to deal with Donald Blake still on the table. But, you know, it is what it is. Donny Cates is writing both of these stories. I'm sure he has an answer for that. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it's something he's not ready to reveal until we actually get back to Thor number 12. I like the fact that we finally saw Knull get that bloody nose, get that receipt that we've been waiting for him to get for a while, and I can't wait to see what Silver Surfer Black is going to do. It's gonna be awesome. But if you enjoyed this video, Hulk smash that like button and share this video with your friends so they can know how you leveled up your comic book big brain in regards to the King in Black Marvel Comics event. Let me know what you thought about King in Black number 3 by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. Keep it plus ultra and sound off in the comments.